focus on progress and not perfection, especially as an entrepreneur. As long as you just keep delivering, progress will come.
This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good morning, Chris Lynn. What a great pleasure to connect with you again. Previously, episode 13 of the 12-Minute Converse podcast. We spoke 3 years, 2 months, 26 days, 15 hours ago.
Always think about adding value, reducing waste, and in doing so, add as much energy as you can into it. And I think that makes that process a lot easier. So I just like to share that because that's really helped me out.
Chris, what's going on? What's new in your world?
Not much. I'm actually running an online eBay store right now selling shoes, and I love it. And I've just converted it into a consignment store. So now I'm selling shoes, which I always love to do, but I'm also helping other people sell their goods online, which has been very fun so far.
Now, that's a key word in my experience, having interactions with you. Sales. It's something you've kept core to, isn't it?
Yes, I love sales.
Now, you've done sales for cars. Like when we last spoke, there was Dealergram, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happened with that?
So I actually shut that down because I was selling Facebook ads, and I don't like writing Facebook ads. So there are a lot of things and services that I can sell, and Facebook ads wasn't my favorite because it's extremely taxing figuring out the exact demographics that companies are looking for. And I figure I would rather do that for my own company than do it for other people.
So how is it? Are you applying Facebook ads to the sneakers business as well?
I'm currently not. I'm just utilizing other online platforms. But as I go into consignment, or if I have replenishable goods, meaning I have more than one of the same item, then I would run Facebook ads. But right now, since all of my items are unique, the Facebook ads wouldn't be able to develop traction.
And what's the website link to access this?
So it's being hooked up right now, but it's dailyrefinement.com. And originally I was just selling on eBay and Poshmark and Mercari, but now I'm going to integrate a Shopify store that has the same items on that website shortly.
Interesting. And you went with Daily Refinement.
Mm-hmm.
Dig into that for me, please.
Yeah, I changed it to my motto for life, which is just improving yourself daily. And instead of having goals in the future, my goal is just to be better today than yesterday. And I can hit my goal every day. I've also recognized that it's insanely difficult to try to improve each day after 30 days or so. Like one example I'll give is I had a habit of donating one item per day, and after around 30 days I had run out of stuff to donate, and I was literally 11 o'clock at night walking around looking for any extra thing I don't use. And at that point I realized, now I'm good, I'll refine something else.
That's interesting. Now, going back again to when we first spoke, I remember, as though it was yesterday, one of your goals was strength training.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my, you pack in the punches when you set a goal, don't you?
I do, absolutely.
Share with us what you were doing back then.
So when I first joined the mastermind group, I found it to be quite a lot of high achievers, the group that we joined together. And I noticed that physical fitness wasn't a strong point of high performers. And I've also noticed that with my friends, the people that have generally spend a lot more time in business, maybe they don't have the time to focus on getting in the best shape. So I started taking it very seriously because I thought, wow, the best business thing you can do is just live longer and be in better health, because the people who don't have good health only want one thing, and people with good health want everything. So I like that saying. So I really went at it. I hired a trainer with specific goals, and then recently I've gone more towards longevity versus strength training.
How do you do that? Like, what are you doing for that? I'm intrigued.
So we're doing more walking, more cooking at home, and a lot more body weight exercises versus lifting weights, just because it's easier to do push-ups and pull-ups then going to the gym, there's less time, and then also cultivating the habit. I'm engaged now since the
There
last
we
time I talked to you.
go. The last time we talked.
That's right.
No, let me jump in there
Yeah.
because I was about to say, you just said we are, right? So you're talking the language, right? The couple
Yep.
language. But when we spoke, one of the habits that you had at that time that you consistently did is you would speak with your girlfriend in the morning and then in the night, and you guys would plan what you wanted to do then. So tell us, it's an engagement now. Wow. When did that happen?
So I got engaged back in December. We've been dating for around 8 years, so it's been a long time, and it's a formality for the most part getting married because we've already been treating it as such. And the habits that we've created together have been phenomenal. And I have to credit James Clear with suggesting a habit where as soon as you get home from work, that's the key habit that you need to adjust. So now we have our workout gear right at the same place where we put our keys when we walk in the door. At that time, we just change and we go for a walk or a run or um, some kind of exercise. We might do like a yoga class. But if the first thing we do when we arrive back from work is sit, then it turns into eating unhealthy or watching TV. So just that one tiny habit. That's what I mean by longevity, because I want to focus on exercise that's easy to do forever rather than strength training. When I first met you, it's very difficult to maintain a strength training regimen because it's so taxing on your body.
Well, again, congratulations on the engagement.
Thank you.
And it really seems as though she is someone that runs the same path with you. And I think that's so important when getting married. Now, one of the conversation themes I gathered from that first 12-minute convos is, and even just seeing you in operation across the online platforms that we use, is that you are very good with connecting with people. How does it feel to look back over the last 3 years to see you hold firm to that value and what you've grown now?
That's a great question. I would say that I'm so focused now on providing the most value I can for people when I meet them that I think it's something that I've enjoyed so much more, because instead of looking for the value I can get out of a relationship, looking for what they are looking for. So, as an example, right now I'm selling e commerce products. So, there's basically three reasons people want to sell stuff: either they are out of space, or they're out of time, or they don't have enough exposure. So, when I meet somebody that wants to sell something, I can ask a few questions and find out what they need, and then basically I believe relationships are just the transfer of energy from one person to the other. And if you a sale occurs when value exceeds price. So for me, what I'm trying to do when I talk to somebody is just determine where I can be of value. And I think that's what's made me into a connector of some sorts to meet people and network and have long-term relationships.
We can look back to one of the topics you brought to the surface that many entrepreneurs experience, which is entrepreneurship loneliness. It seems as though you found a way to crack the code on that. Share with us, how has that been?
So I think it's very unnatural to work alone from a human perspective. However, that's sort of what it takes to create something valuable, because you have to focus. So I have been doing situations where I listen to even music that's just coffee shop background music, because even like just humans doing things in the background is so motivating. I think the entrepreneur dilemma is you need to focus to grow, but then also it's very lonely. So I've done my best to try to keep my friends the same people that have the same progress focused mindset. What that looks like to me is us spending time together, talking about what we've been working on, and also us time. It's like being together separately. That's how I look at it.
Has your definition of winning evolved?
It has. It's now to just, does your schedule match your goals? That's my definition.
Love it. Hey, Chris, this was such a great pleasure, my friend. I want to take this time to say thank you for being who you are, for being your own unique, real self, Chris. It's been such a pleasure getting that opportunity, that insight to see you set your goals, go after them, continuously remain focused, and share. You've shared a ton with me, tips and tricks of what you're doing and how you're doing it, and you still continue to do that. Again, congratulations to you on becoming engaged. In closing, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Definitely. I want to share that to focus on progress and not perfection, especially as an entrepreneur. Just send something, get it out there, and then your audience will let you know what they like and dislike, and you can just move that way. Anytime you take a snapshot of what you've done a year ago, or in our case, 3 years ago, it seems like lifetimes ago. And as long as you just keep delivering, progress will come.
Chris Lynn, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. This podcast is produced by Pod Edits. Visit podedits.com for professional podcast publishing.